Today I want to tell you things about Barbie that you may not have heard anywhere else. So let's go. This is the opening scenes in Barbie, and if you have watched the Space Odyssey movie, you will notice the similarity between the opening scenes of Barbie and part of this movie. So what's the point of Barbie from this similarity? The whole message of movie Barbie is summed up in these first scenes. And why did the director Greta Gerwig take inspiration from the movie Odyssey for this scene? To know the answer, we must first see what message the similar scene in movie Space Odyssey does have. In the movie Odyssey, there were some monkeys that symbolized as the primitive men. They were weak and aimed, but for the first time they learned how to use tools. And that bone was symbolized as the first tool. Then there is an important scene which Greta Gerwig used in Barbie either. Monkeys threw the bone into the sky, and then there is a close shot of the bone in the sky till it turns to a spacecraft. I don't want to spoil the Space Odyssey movie, but for understanding the opening scenes in Barbie, it's necessary. There were an AL in the spacecraft, which it was the most smartest tool that human could create ever. In a way that even it was a threat for humankind. We have the same scene in Barbie either. Children are playing with their dolls, which they are like infants, they are baby dolls. Suddenly Barbie appears and children get to know Barbie for the first time. Hold on, there's a point here. The costume that Barbie wears here is the first costume that the Barbie doll was wearing when it was released on the market. Okay, let's move on. As I said, children get to know the Barbie doll for the first time. Then they start breaking their baby dolls and threw the doll into the sky, which the baby doll turns to a Barbie in the sky. What's the point of this scene? Let's go back to in 1959. The Barbie doll was created by Ruth Handler, who had some feminist thought. Before 60s, there were not so much jobs for women, just a few like nursery and teaching. Ruth Handler observed that the little girls are just playing with their baby dolls to learn how to be a good mother in future. Exactly like the opening scenes in Barbie. But this lady noticed that these children were also playing with some pictures of models that tailors used them to design clothes. And those were pictures of grown lady. Ruth Handler noticed that children like to imagine themselves as a grown-up, beautiful lady and not just playing with their baby dolls and pretend to be their mom. So it sparks an idea in Ruth's mind. She finds the doll in Germany and brings it to America. You may think it must be the Barbie, but no, in fact it was the doll that inspired Ruth to make Barbie. Actually, after World War II, in Germany, comic stories were published in a popular magazine. That the main character of the story was a sexy lady who was a secretary during the day and she dated rich men at night. The story was not for children at all, and that doll was made based on the lady character in a story. The doll was not also for children. You could find the doll in bars and nightclubs. Now let's go back to Ruth Handler. Ruth Handler brings the doll to America, and when she sees that her daughter Barbara Handler is eager to play with the doll, she decides to create Barbies. And she takes the name of Barbie from her daughter named Barbara. Then she also created a boy doll and she takes the name of his son Ken for that doll. Now the opening scenes of Barbie must be meaningful for you. Children that must be a mother in future, now they could imagine themselves as a mature different lady. The child threw the infant's doll in the sky, which symbolized as old thoughts turned to a Barbie as a modern thoughts. Now let's see what message the Barbie wanted to convey in the first day of her creation. Women has equal rights with men. Women can have any jobs that they want. They have the right to choose and live freely, and no one has the right to tell them what should they do or don't. All these thoughts emerged in a society that the creator of Barbie had to make this doll with a humble and downward look till at the beginning of 70s. The first Barbies with a straight look created in 1970s. Therefore, making of this doll in such a society was associated with serious problems and many court cases were held for it. Actual Barbie is not just a doll, it's a way of living. When Barbie dolls became so famous, the Mattel company sold 3 Barbie dolls in each second, which makes him one of the biggest doll companies in the world. Now in 2023, Barbie is back with new feminist thoughts. Here's a symbolic scene of changing Barbie's thought.
You can go back to your regular life, or you can know the truth about the universe.
The first one, the high heel.
You have to want to know, okay? Do it again.
Back to the Barbie's life or to the real world. A Barbie with flat feet and no more walking on tiptoes. The budget for this movie was $140 million and it just spent $100 million on marketing. The movie is trying to show the women independence from men. This video was about the history of Barbie's doll and things you may not know about the Barbie. But for next video we are going to have a review on the film and I'm gonna rate the film on that video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please tap the subscribe button, then send it to your friends. If there's any question, any mistake or any suggestion, please let me know. Love you all. See you soon.